Hey everyone, Graham here from the recordingrevolution.com. You are in the middle of 5 minutes to a better mix, where we're looking at 31 mixing tips in 31 days. And today's a good one. It's about gain matching when you're doing any processing. What is gain matching? Why does it matter? Well, here's the thing. What we typically do is we start processing tracks. You throw EQ on there, some compression, maybe some saturation. Who knows what you're putting on your tracks. And everything you do is potentially making that track louder. And if you're not careful, you might A/B, what the track sounds like with and without the plugins. And you will probably favor the one with the plugins on it because the track is a little bit louder. We always think louder sounds better. It's sort of in our nature. You hear a louder track, blindfold test usually always prove that people choose the louder track as the one they think sounds best. That's not helpful for you as a mixer. You can't make the right decisions if you're making it based off of volume. So what you want to do is make sure that as you're processing a track, EQing, compressing, whatever, you look for your plugin's output knob. A lot of plugins will have an output knob to sort of trim down the overall output of that plugin to match the volume that it had coming into the plugin. That way, the volume of your track going in and out of the plugin stays the same regardless of the processing, so that all you're hearing is the processing, the plugin. Is it doing what you want it to do or not? Not is it making it louder or quieter. Either one could be your detriment. So I thought I'd show you a simple example. I've got some drums here, and I've routed them through a drum aux, this random yellow track here. But what really matters is that on that drum aux, I have a channel strip. And so I've done some processing to the drums. I've done a little bit of a EQ boost here, a shelf at 8K. So I've boosted some of the top end on the drums. I have carved out about 3 dB of 500 hertz, so kind of a woofy low-mid frequency. And then I've done a little bit of light compression, 1.7:1 ratio, middle release, relatively middle attack. It's an auto attack technically, but just some light compression. So take a listen to the drums without any processing on the drum bus, and then I will kick on the channel strip and you'll hear what I'm doing. Right? You can hear the difference. Right? More energy, more attack and crack on the snare, more clarity in the cymbals. It sounds better. I mean, that's what I was trying to do, is make it sound better. But in the process, what I have also done is made it louder. Just look at the output meter here on the channel strip. Here's before. It's kind of hitting the 15 and then the -10 on the snare hits. Here's where it is with the EQ and compression. Right? It's hitting the 10 pretty regularly and then jumping into the 5. I've in essence made it louder with, even if it's not the EQ, it could just be the compression. So to make a fair assessment before I consider that this processing is, yay, makes my drums better, I gotta turn down the output to make it match. So I really want that output to look like it did here. So I'm gonna press play with the processing and dial down the output. Now I'm going to flip back and forth and see if the volume is pretty comparable. Before. See what I'm doing here? Now we can really compare. The volumes are about the same. The sound is going to change. I've opened up the cymbals, a little bit of compression, but now we can make a fair assessment and switch back and forth and see if what we are doing is actually helping. Before, after. There you go. So gain matching is critical. On EQs, there's plenty of these that have an output knob. Your compressors are going to have an output knob or a gain matching knob or a makeup gain knob. A lot of plugins have some kind of gain knob. That's generally to change the output to make it match. So keep that in mind on your next track. That's it for today. Graham here from therecordingrevolution.com. I'll see you on the next video.